Go time?
Yep.
Go time.
Ooh.
And we're recording. Welcome to episode 3 of the Real Stuff Podcast.
Episode 3.
My name is Reese.
My name is Carson.
My brother / intern.
Way cooler.
Not really, but
Yes.
anyway. We have our a very special guest today.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
My name is Cade Berrett.
Cade Berrett.
That's it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cool
Cade,
name.
who are you?
Other
than your name. I
am Cade Berrett.
No, other than your name. Like, what do you, yeah.
I
Tell us a
am
little bit.
a real estate agent, real estate investor, born and raised in the Fresno and Clovis area. I now commute to Tulare at least once a week to
Yes,
hang
you
out
do.
with you boys.
Nice.
So
You
that's me in a nutshell, a very
Yeah.
simplistic nutshell.
That's
Love
what I
it.
like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Cade is he has a worldwide operation,
I
a
do.
global
Dude.
operation.
Call me Mr. Worldwide.
Man.
Yeah, straight up, dude.
Big time.
I just got chills.
Dude, I wasn't gonna mention it, but some people do like my nickname's Pitbull, bro. Like Mr. Worldwide, like, bro.
I mean, you
I
gotta
didn't
mention
want to
it.
whip it out
I
on the
mean,
podcast,
dude,
but dude,
I think you
I
have
feel like
to.
I had to.
I think that's a
I
must,
felt
absolutely.
inspired to.
I think
Yeah.
you have to. It's like, well, Carson and I, let's give some introductions too. If this is your first time listening, my name is Reese, and I am also a realtor and a real estate investor at Reese Sapien on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Go follow me, and then also check out the Sean Team app, which is the #1 app in the universe, real estate app. Go look at it; it's cool. But yeah, and I'm the co-host of the Real Stuff Podcast with.
With me, Carson. Reese's way cooler, handsomer, slightly taller brother.
Mm-hmm.
Better yet, rather than going straight to Reese for your real estate needs, come to me, and I can send you to Reese and get a referral.
Wow,
That's
one way to do it.
I
guess.
think
That's
that's
great.
better.
Yeah.
But
That's great.
yeah,
Carson. Yeah, you're almost.
You convinced me.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Whatever,
hope so.
Cade, whatever, dude. That was unnecessary. Whatever.
I mean,
Yeah, Carson's almost licensed. You're in the
Almost.
pre-licensing phase.
yeah, just finished my courses, getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, you finished all 3?
Yeah, because I'd already had one done, so I had to take the 2. Yeah.
So you're just waiting on a test date?
Well, I have to do like my fingerprints and all that, and then
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Carson also just had a birthday.
I did.
He just turned 19.
It's
And
true.
this is the Real Stuff debut of his new glasses.
And
Yeah.
shoes.
And
Apparently.
shoes,
And
which you
shoes.
can't see,
That's true.
but they aren't
And
as cool as
shoes.
Cade's shoes.
That is an absolute fact.
Yes.
It's still
That's
good,
true.
though.
Yeah.
Still good.
Mhm.
Cade was a little ashamed of Carson when he didn't wear his shoes.
Because
Fun
me
fact,
and
so-
Cade have the same
Yeah,
pair of
context.
shoes.
We have the same
Context.
exact
Yeah,
pair of shoes.
and we both look equally great in them.
Well,
I
and
would
is
agree.
this your
I would say.
second pair of those shoes?
This is my second
Okay,
pair.
and
Oh,
of
so
these
we're
shoes.
both-
on his
okay.
second
Yes.
Okay.
So you guys love them equally.
We.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually might love them more. I don't.
Well, you're not wearing them today, so.
Well, he
I
didn't wear them
might
last
have to
week,
buy my third pair just to say I love them more.
and I'll buy 3 and 4.
Okay, all right. Well, Carson, I think you have something for us.
I do.
Give it to me.
I have the greatest game in the history of the world. But first, I actually have something important that I need to address.
Yes.
If you've watched episode 1 and 2 and the test run, you know that I have made jokes about the name of our podcast.
Yes.
I've joked about the initials, but I think it's time that we actually mention what the initials truly were. See, Reese was naming the podcast, and he wanted to name the podcast something significant.
Yes.
So he named it Real Stuff with the initials RS because those are the initials of someone very special.
Me.
Obviously, I'm referring to Ravi Shankar,
What?
who is an Indian sitarist and composer who died on December 11th, 2012, which was our sister's 6th birthday. So that's what RS
That was so
actually
weird.
means.
That was so weird.
Well,
What? What's his
What
name
was his
again?
name?
Ravi Shankar.
Rest in peace, Ravi.
Rest
Rest
in
in
Thank you.
peace,
Shout
Ravi.
out. Mom told us we had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom told we did. So have you listened to the second episode? We did so many shout outs.
A
Like
lot
every
of
time
shout-outs.
someone was mentioned, we just said shout out. But my mom told us we need to stop doing that. So we're not going to do that anymore unless I decide to.
Yeah, maybe we might.
But Carson has, go ahead, Carson.
Yes,
I'll let
now
you
I
take
do have something for us just to get us all comfortable and ready to go. I have a great game. It is called RS or BS. It was introduced in episode 2,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic.
What
So
does that stand for?
that stands for RS, Real Stuff, because this is the Real Stuff
Mhm.
podcast, or BS, Bologna Sandwich,
Yes.
because this is
a
family friendly. Yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
Big load of baloney.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Just, crazy amount of bologna. So this is what I'm going to do. The game is I read you a trivia fact, and you tell me if it is RS, true, real stuff, or BS, false bologna sandwich.
Okay.
So let's just
Perfect.
jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Okay, so
Two
first random fact. Dr. Pepper is the oldest soft drink in America. RS or BS?
I'm going to take BS on that one.
So question. I'm gonna go with RS because was Coke the original, but since it had cocaine in it, it wasn't a soft drink.
I mean, I don't know that much.
Oh.
It is real stuff. That's
Oh.
RS.
Oh, my
I
God,
hadn't
dude.
even taken the cocaine
Come
into
on.
consideration, but
Come
I'm
on.
glad that that's where your mind went.
Well, I don't know because isn't that true? Didn't they?
They
Mitchell?
yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Okay.
There
We don't
was
even need
cocaine and
Mitchell.
Coke.
We
Yeah.
don't need Mitchell.
Cade is our Mitchell.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, next
Jeez,
fact.
0 for 1,
How do you
man.
know that it had cocaine in it?
I plead the fifth.
Oh,
I don't.
all
I
right.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
I,
all right.
I
Good answer.
yeah.
Let's not
Yeah.
peer pressure our guests into talking. Okay. So, next fact. Just first, though, have you guys ever had food so good that it makes you want to cry?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I have, but this next fact, RS or BS, crocodiles shed tears when they eat food. So every time, I don't know if it's an every time thing, but apparently every time crocodiles eat food, they cry. RS or BS?
Just because of the weirdness of this fact, I'm gonna have to take real stuff here. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with real stuff.
That is real stuff.
Oh,
Crocodiles,
yeah.
very emotional when it comes to eating, apparently. Yeah,
Dude, I could
yeah.
go crocodile. But
Well.
they eat like deers.
Is it?
right?
That's
Or
a good
not
question.
deers.
Is it because that they like murder their food? Is that why they're
Do they-
crying?
Are they
I don't-
having
They're like
sadness?
sadness.
They're like mourning their food at the same time. They're like, "Wow, this is so good, but it was alive."
So sad.
I don't know.
gruesome.
I don't know. But my next one.
Okay.
France is the world's largest cheese producer. RS or BS?
Smells like a whole lot of BS to me, coming from the Frenchmen over the Atlantic. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't smell very good to me. I'm taking BS.
I don't know. I mean, I think of Paris. I think like ratatouille.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
I didn't even think
wow.
about
A
that.
lot of cheese
Wow.
and ratatouille. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it is about a rat.
I mean, yeah,
And
but
rats
it's
do like cheese. That doesn't necessarily mean. Whoa, excuse me. I'm gonna go with RS just to be different. I don't know.
no, it is BS. Yeah, that was
What was
complete.
the real? What's the real answer?
Here's the thing: is I forgot to look it up.
Oh.
I was going to,
So
and
you
then
just,
I.
you just made that up completely.
No. I know that France isn't the largest. I just don't
you
know.
don't know who
I
it
just don't know
is.
what it is. I was gonna I mean, this is when it'd be nice to have a Mitchell.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna look it up, but I forgot. But anyway,
Yeah.
next up, this one I don't know exactly how to say it. Alliumphobia is a fear of garlic. RS or BS? So alliumphobia, a fear of garlic, like a vampire.
Vampire.
Yeah.
Let's go with RS. That's what I feel in my heart.
Okay.
You know what? Just because we're evened up, I'm going to take RS too.
That is real stuff.
Ooh.
That doesn't alliumphobia doesn't seem like a garlic fear to
No,
me.
it didn't.
Yeah,
Like maybe aluminum. I don't know.
but I think of allodoxophobia, which is the
Allodoxophobia.
fear of what other people think.
Yeah.
Think.
And if you want to learn more about that, go to Reese's Instagram at
True.
whatever it
Plug.
is.
At
Posted a reel. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And staying on the topic of fears for this next one, this one is quite the name. Triskaidekaphobia. Triskaidekaphobia, yeah, is the fear of shoes. RS or BS?
No, I'm taking BS.
No?
No. I don't.
Hold on, I'm bringing
Quite
it
the
back.
name.
Yeah, I'll go with BS too. That's weird.
That is BS.
Okay.
Yes.
It's actually the fear of the number 13,
That
which is Reese's favorite number,
that's
right?
Because I was born on the 13th
So-
of February.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
So triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13.
Mm.
So if we could put a big 13 on the screen.
You know what's
to
my
scare the
problem
people
was?
with-
Like since 13 was my favorite number. Like when I was growing up on like sports teams, I would
Mhm.
pick 13, but they always like do the sizes. The smallest numbers are the smallest, and so I always had huge jerseys. Like my all-star, when I made all-star in the baseball team.
What happened there?
Just had a
Shit.
double XL.
You know, I had a double XL. I had to shamelessly plug that I was on that all-star baseball team. Anyway,
How about we talk about high school baseball?
whatever.
Yeah, we don't have to talk
I
about it.
don't wanna
Okay,
talk about it.
next up. And this one, I don't know if it's a trivia fact, but I thought it was interesting. RS or BS, avocados are vegetables.
BS.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Because then I'm
No.
like, what are they?
I'm taking real stuff. It's not a seed. It's a pit. I'm taking real stuff.
I'm gonna stick with BS.
That's BS. It is
Oh
technically
my
still.
Gosh,
Yeah,
bro.
they're fruits
'Cause it could-
because they're single-seeded berries. I think it does still count as a
Oh
seed.
my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
dude.
Did you say it's a pit, not a seed?
I mean, you don't
Is that
call
what
it
you
a
said?
seed.
Yeah,
which
I
I
call
actually
it-
I can understand that because that's what I would like.
Right?
I don't see that and go, oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, it is a seed, I guess, but
I guess I might just be dumb.
Why don't we
No,
just-
I don't know. I mean,
you know,
yeah, I mean, Carson's
I guess
with you,
a
so
pit's
maybe I'm
a
the dumb one.
seed. I know.
No.
why don't
you
we
got
just
it
call it a
right.
seed then? I don't get it.
Lucky guess,
Yeah.
to
But
be honest with you. It's 50-50.
yeah, this next one, I'm not sure if it's real, but it was on the internet, so it has to be.
Okay.
Of
There are
course.
only 4 words in the English language that end in the letters DOUS. The
DOUS.
DOUS. There are only 4 words in the English language that end in DOUS. RS or BS.
All right, let's talk this out.
Tremendous.
Stupendous.
Stupendous. Anonymous.
No, that's not DOUS.
That's
Oh.
it's a DOUS. Anonymous.
Tremendous. Stupendous. Horrendous.
Okay. You know what? I've got to take the over here. If we've thought of 3 already, what are the odds we've thought of 3 of the only 4 in the late? I'm taking
Yeah, I'm gonna
BS.
take BS too.
That's RS. You guys got 3 of the 4.
No, we did not.
What were the?
What's
It's,
the
it's
fourth one?
horrendous, tremendous, hazardous, and stupendous. Yeah.
That's we need
No
a fact
way.
check
Look,
on
look,
that,
Yeah,
look,
we
dude.
need a fact
We
check
need
That's
a
on
what
fact
it
that.
check.
said.
Straight up.
That's what it said online, and the internet never lies. Okay. Look, I'm a little bit impressed with you guys. You guys got 3 of the 4.
That's what I was.
You know
Really
what's funny is
quickly.
before I said anonymous, tremendous was the other one I said, but I forgot after I said.
I mean, someone said tremendous. Though.
No, you
Oh,
said
hazardous
tremendous.
was the one you guys
We
did.
missed
Oh,
hazardous.
Yeah.
That's right,
Hazardous.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's weird.
and
okay,
you know, if there are other words, feel free not to comment them. I don't need to hear about how I was wrong.
don't do it.
But all right, next one. I have 2 more.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. RS or BS? Like a sloth. Like,
I'm gonna go with RS just because it's so random that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with RS.
I'm down by 1. I got to take the BS just to try and make up some ground here.
that's real stuff.
Oh my god!
Dang.
It makes
you're
it
down
makes
too,
no
bro.
sense to me.
See,
Dolphins.
that was my chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Wow.
mammals, so they
So yeah, I mean, a sloth is also a mammal.
No, I'm-
Maurice. But
No, I
you
know
would think
that.
that one of them lives underwater. They would need to be
That's
the one that
true.
holds their breath longer. Dolphins have to come up for air every 10 minutes, which
Wow.
is not a lot of minutes.
No.
That like saying that out loud. That doesn't.
I mean, they're not deep swimmers, don't they? Just like
Well, don't they?
bounce on the-
Don't they kill sharks?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's like a thing. Anyway, but
I'm not a marine
sloths
biologist.
apparently can hold their breath for 40 minutes.
That's impressive.
Good for them.
Why do they have to? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
But apparently they do.
yeah,
Wow.
So
interesting.
That's great.
yeah.
Good for them.
So for my last one, and this one is interesting. So in Switzerland, you are only allowed to own 1 guinea pig. RS or BS?
RS.
So it's like the law. You can only own 1 guinea pig. RS
Since
or
this
BS?
is the last one, no matter how I answer, I win. I'm gonna go with RS too.
You're both wrong. That's BS.
Oh my-
Wow.
It is
Wow.
I
actually
just thought it was so weird that
I
like,
know.
well, just wait. It's actually the opposite. You aren't allowed to only own 1
you have to have.
because
It's
they
either
get
0
lonely.
or 2 plus.
Yeah, apparently guinea pigs are like such social animals that it is literally considered animal abuse in Switzerland
That's probably the
to
dumbest
only
thing I've
own
ever
1
heard.
guinea pig. Well, are you a guinea pig?
Do they
Reese?
care that much about children? Probably.
They
not.
well, I don't know. No, it's because they're
I'm willing to
social.
bet that they don't.
No.
It's
I'm
because
willing to
they're
bet that they don't.
social. Oh wait. Oh,
No,
I
I'm
thought you were
saying
talking about the guinea pigs.
Not the guinea pigs. I'm talking about the government. Like that they would make a law. Is that a government law? Like
Apparently.
that's so weird. That makes me mad.
You know
But-
who's the anti of the situation you
Who?
just said? That would be China. Like the one
Oh,
kid
yeah.
rule.
They have,
They
That's
want their
a
kids
rule?
to be anti-social. At
Well,
least
I thought
it
it-
was.
I thought it
They
was
may have
one boy,
lifted
one
it.
girl. I thought-
Population control because they have too many people.
I thought Wait, is it
We're
one
saying
kid?
some
They may
random
just-
stuff on
yeah,
here.
I-
we
you
probably
know.
don't want to offend China. Sorry, China.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. So apparently, guinea
That's
pigs
so weird.
they must have friends in Switzerland.
Wow.
That's weird.
You can't have
Switzerland.
one
The Swedes.
because
But
apparently
hey, if you're
they
an only
literally get
child,
depressed.
What are they called?
Huh?
The Swedes?
Swiss?
the Swedes, the skis.
I like
the
Swedes better. I like Swedes better.
The Swedes.
I like Swedes.
the Swedes.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. That's all I
Okay.
have
Wow.
for
That was
RCBS.
great.
That was pretty good.
I think you guys were keeping track. I was not.
We should start keeping track. But I did win, right?
You won by 2. I don't know how many I got
Two.
wrong,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
you were, yeah.
I got more than that. Oh,
Yeah.
good for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Reigning
great.
champion. I'm sure I won. The
Great
last
job
one,
letting your guests loose.
Sorry.
not my fault.
You
I
know.
didn't. You were the one that started keeping score. So
I
since you
mean-
started keeping score.
That's true.
I wasn't worried
Because
about it.
You could have been like, "Oh, I'm up too," and
Yeah,
I would have
would've
believed you.
I would have believed you too.
100%.
Wow. Wow.
So
Yeah.
well, that's all I have for the game. So Reese, is there anything that you wanna talk about?
Yeah,
today?
well, let's just jump right in here. We got Cade. So Cade just started. He's one of the newest people on our team. And Cade has, like we were talking about, has a global operation. So, Cade, why don't you tell us a little bit about what that means for anyone who doesn't know real estate, what that might
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. So I have like global operations set up in multiple countries, including our own.
That sounds so sick.
It's no, but essentially, I have a couple of team members, virtual assistants, however you want to dice it up, or however you want to cut the cheese, that are out in the Philippines who have been working with me now for a couple years. So when we talk about global operation, that's what we're talking about. At a point in time, I think I had 5 at one point who were on the team and doing various things, and now we're down to 3 who are all helping us at the Sean team in some sort of capacity now. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that is
Cade
crazy.
just started. We brought your team over to the Sean team and kind
Yep.
of merged.
Yeah,
So
had like a little global merger, dude.
Global merger.
Wow. Yeah. Should have
yeah.
bought your stock early, dude.
Dude.
Like,
That's such a good point.
hey, it's honestly, you probably still have time to buy in.
Probably.
You know, it might be a little too late, but it's better now.
Yeah,
It's
best
better
time to
late
buy
than
was
never.
yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before that, give us a little bit of background of what,
Yeah.
like, just briefly, what did you do? What's
Yeah.
your-
So I did go the school route. I graduated high school in 2017, started in college at Fresno State the same year, hammered out 4 years of college, graduated Fresno State in 2021. But about halfway through, couple years into college, I think it was about 2018 or it might have been 2019, that I kind of got first exposed into real estate. Started as an office assistant for a team over in Fresno, and year later got my license, was still going to school. I think there was about a year overlap from where I had my license, but I was still going to school. So I was licensed, but didn't do much with it. I think I sold 1 house, maybe 2 while I was still in college. But then after graduating, hit the ground running and have been doing real estate full time since graduation. So, like I had said, got my license, started out a little bit on the retail side, but had gotten exposure to investments, fix and flips, wholesales, rentals, that sort of stuff around the same time. So I've been kind of that hybrid real estate professional since getting started in real estate, which has been cool.
Yeah. So a little bit of context for those who don't know don't know real estate. The retail side would be like helping people with their primary residence.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, there's some overlap a little bit, but like being an agent, operating, helping people buy their houses, helping people sell them. And then what Cade specializes in more now would be finding houses off the market, helping cash buyers more. So that's just kind of a brief overview. So what do your VAs do, virtual assistants do?
Yeah.
To help you there.
So we've got 2 full-time cold callers / lead generators. So they are absolute beasts on the phones. They're hammering the phones 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, just continuously hunting down new business for us, to come in, nurture, and close and do some deals. So 2 full-time cold callers, and then I have a full-time, I basically like to call him my right-hand man because he does a whole bunch of stuff. He helps manage those cold callers. He is a leads manager. He is experienced in follow-up and kind of taking it the next step after those cold callers submit a lead. He does video editing. He does, like I said, management. He's really a jack of all trades. He does a whole bunch of stuff, really wherever is needed. And so that's how those are kind of the hats that each of those 3 wear.
That's cool.
Were you gonna?
Oh, I don't know if you were.
Oh, I didn't really have I just wanted to hear more about, like, just how did you, you started off in, like, how long did it take for you to get this global operation? Like, what were the steps that you took to get?
I know there's a lot of logistics involved. I'll rewind a little bit because there was a time, right? Like at the beginning, like most real estate professionals are, like they're wearing all the hats in the business, right? Like you're lead generating, you're going out finding new business, you're doing all this stuff, right? And this was towards the end of 2020. I had just, it was literally in December, a couple years before the new year, and I was wearing all those hats, right? And then, I closed the biggest deal that I had ever had, a couple days before the new year. And, came into this huge influx of money in my business. And I think the mistake I made too quickly was I then started shelling out that money and offloading, some of the lead generation that I was doing myself to an outside company, right? So instead of me continuing to, be on the front lines, making the calls, grinding away at that, I decided to, dump a crap ton of money into having somebody else do it for me, right? Like a kind of do-it-yourself service. And that ended up, not really working out. And so, I go, 6-8 months with that. And, I'm in a spot where, all of that cash I had come into at the end of 2020, is now basically all gone and then some. So now I'm in a worse spot. But, I think to myself, what was my skill set, what are kind of my strengths. And so I decided, hey, obviously I need to get back on the front lines for a little bit and get back to making some calls, to generate a little more cash. But I think this time, instead of just shelling out and having somebody run it for me, I think I've got the skill set to where I can build it in-house and, cut my costs in half basically and do it that way. And
there's
so
no middleman, right?
Because there's no middleman, right? Instead of paying somebody to manage all of you, basically do everything, all of the grunt work, right? Of finding, hiring, firing, training, virtual assistants and team members. I was going to take that on myself, right? Taking on that time commitment, but also reducing, my costs by like over 50% by bringing it in-house, right? So long story short, that's the jump I end up making, after stopping that outbound service, being on the front lines for a little bit, and then just trial and error of, working in-house. I had a great guy out in Fresno. He's a real estate investor. His name's Adam Abajian. He had built kind of his own in-house operation, and I relied heavily on him. To kind of say, hey, can you point me in the right direction? I don't need you to do it for me. I don't want the hand holding, but can you point me in the right direction and give me a couple of pointers and I'll take it and run it from there. And he was a great help in, just putting me and helping me find a place to start and kind of at least get the ball rolling with managing that. And long story short, here we are. We've got, like we were saying, we've got 3, all 3 of which who have been on the team for at least over a year, all 3 of them. So, which I think is great in and of itself, just with retention and building that culture. So, that's a little bit of the backstory about, kind of taking it from nothing to now kind of where we're at now.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of amazing to see all of the ways that, because you brought us in and kind of showed us all that you do for your, all that you do to manage. And it's really cool to see all of the steps that you've done or been pointed to or whatever. I'm sure you've had to implement your own stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's amazing to see all that stuff. And because I remember the first time Lewis and I went to your office and I was like, dude, this is like a legit, like it literally is a global operation. Like it's like a very structured out thing. So like how does your time, because obviously you still have other stuff going on, right? So how do you manage your time? You're managing 3 people from across the world. Like how do you do that on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is training and expectations, right? Because if you set things up right the first time, if you start with the expectations and the culture and everything up front, right, is very diligent, is very organized, I think that only helps you, as time goes by, right? And I think even more so finding, like I say, my right hand guy, his name's Kevin. Having Kevin being able to take even some of the tedious or lower level tasks to where now it's kind of like your normal traditional like corporate pyramid, right? Like kind of your CEO at the top, but then you have a manager, Kevin, and then, in the pyramid, like employees, underneath Kevin, right? And having him there has just streamlined the time and everything exponentially because yes, while I do still spend time with, our cold callers and, nurturing our company, our company's culture and stuff like that, having Kevin to be able to handle a lot of that stuff of the day to day with them allows me to check in with Kevin, a couple times per week, and streamline time that way. So being able to delegate, I think, and having the skill to know what should be delegated and when, I think, to answer your question, has really helped with the time stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And what's the time difference from here to the Philippines? Like,
dude, it's like,
do you know, like,
it's like a day ahead. I don't know how many hours. I think it's like 16 hours maybe.
Really?
So like
Really?
right now, yeah, because like as we approach, I don't know. I know it's at least like on a calendar, like today's the 7th, it's the 8th.
Gotcha.
And so it's like a decent chunk. By the time, like when they're starting their day, which is like around 8 a.m. Pacific, it's like late night in the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're working, I get essentially what we would call like a graveyard shift.
But it has to be that way because they're calling people here.
Yeah.
So are they used to that kind of schedule there? Or how does that work?
Well, they, at least before starting with me, they were, because they had done like outbound cold calling, virtual assistant work before for people in the States. So I know there's a big community in the Philippines and a big, like worker base of virtual assistants. Okay. Who do have obviously experience working for people or companies in the United States. And, with the time you just got to work on U.S. time, right? Because you can't be making calls at midnight when it's midnight here in the U.S., right? So they were already accustomed to it when they had started on our team, but just because they had a couple years already of experience.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you run into a lot of communication issues, or at least did you early on, like with that difference?
Early on, it was because I had some guidance, but it was also just really just jumping in and figuring it out, right? But I think the system we have dialed in now, obviously we utilize like virtual meetings, whether it's Zoom or Google Meet, stuff like that. That's really helpful. Obviously they have good comprehension and basic understanding of like technology, email, messaging, stuff like that. So we use Slack for a lot of communication, like day-to-day kind of instantaneous messaging if anybody needs anything. But also, like I said, the huge part is being able to hop in like those virtual meetings when needed too.
Well, and I'm sure having Kevin manage them, and he's also in their timeline.
100%
makes it okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to transition a little bit to our next thing that I want to talk about, because Cade is a triathlete.
Oh, not yet, but that's I guess
you're pretty much there.
I mean,
I'm you know what? I'll take it. I'm there. I am a triathlete.
I mean, you're training for it, so like just claim it, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it.
So
I mean, I'm also clearly an athlete. If if it wasn't for my injury, I'd still be an athlete. I'm injured. So, but like
but you might be on the global rankings for spikeball.
It's possible.
And our duos team might also be up there as well. I think we've ran through pretty much everybody in the office.
Yeah. I mean, and it was
at
pretty
least
easy as
Reese, and
well.
Reese claims himself as the best player, and we beat Reese.
Yeah.
So I think we take the mantle.
Yeah,
You
well,
are an
I'm
athlete.
an
You
ambassador.
take
yeah,
it.
so obviously, like, I'm an athlete. I understand, but to all the non-athletes, like, what's your training look like every day?
Oh, dude, it is
Well, wait. Question before that: how
Yeah.
many days a week do you train?
Oh yeah.
7 days a week.
7 days.
So
a
it
week.
is every day.
Every day.
Between 6 and 7.
Okay.
Okay.
And obviously that doesn't account for, obviously, since March when I've started training, I've had, vacations where I've gone out of
Yeah.
town and did not, work out.
Mm-hmm.
But traditional workout schedule right now is 6 or 7 days a week. Usually it's 7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at least. So what does training look like? It's been obviously kind of this gradual climb since March, right? Because I don't have any, specific triathlon experience. I mean, I obviously a triathlon is swim, bike, and run. And I did water polo and swimming for 8-9 years. So obviously the swimming portion I've got, I would say covered. But in terms of triathlon experience, like bike and run, like I had run one half marathon a few years ago, but that's it, right? So needing this kind of gradual climb right now when we're kind of pretty much almost at the peak, because we've got a little bit less than we've got about a month until race day.
Oh wow. Man.
Is it's a lot. Like minimum I would say probably is about an hour and a half of training, and that's kind of like on like your normal day, to where at least 2 or 3 days out of the week it's probably between 3 and 4 hours. And to give some examples, right, like the primary stuff of training we're doing, and I have a coach who's helping me. His name's Sean Tucker. He's an absolute beast, who trains a ton of athletes, both triathlete, running, stuff like that. How it works is I have an app, he'll load in my workouts for the week, and I just got to hit the green check mark.
Yeah.
Like I know, okay, hey, if I have a swim today, about 45-minute swim, here's my swim set. I'm going to go and do it. And then, okay, after my 45-minute swim, for example, this is what today was like. After my 45-minute swim, boom, I got an hour and 15 on the stationary bike, with some interval stuff, right?
Wow.
So it's just checking the boxes, right? So that's kind of like your normal, kind of traditional day. Like I said, at least one of the 3 sports you're hitting. Most often than not, you're hitting at least 2 of the 3 on a daily basis. And then Fridays or Saturdays, usually Saturdays are like the freaking big kahunas, man. Like last week I did kind of like a simulation of race day. So race day, we're doing a half Ironman. It's going to be a 1.2 mile swim, 56 miles on the bike, and then finishing with a half marathon, 13.1 miles. Last week I did the 1.2 swim, and then hopped on the stationary bike and did a little over 56 miles, which took about 4 hours.
And not to mention a half marathon.
Yeah, so I did it. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's a lot.
It's
crazy.
a lot, dude.
How do your legs? Like, I mean,
Dude.
you've been doing training for now a few months.
Yeah.
So, because I ran a half marathon last August. It was a year ago.
On my
a couple
birthday.
days ago, on his birthday. And my legs were just like, I mean, they weren't bad because I had been training for it too.
Yeah.
But like, it was pretty tough.
No, dude. Yeah, I've had it's like I've had to talk with my coach, especially recently, like when the training is ramped up, like especially with the running, like not only shin splints but like ankle splints, like everything hurting, and we've had to do a workaround where like, dude, like I literally cannot run. I know today's workout says a run, but I can't even get my body to run. It just hurts. So I'm either going to walk or fill it with more time on the bike or more time on the swim.
Yeah.
So when something has kind of hurt like that, we've just kind of maneuvered and adjusted to, hey, if we're losing time on this week, then we're just going to spend a little extra time in the pool or on the bike.
Yeah.
So have you seen, like, so you started training in March, have you had to change any scheduling with work? Like, have you had to work around stuff?
Dude, yeah, it's been really hard, especially back in March. I was also kind of doing like a second job / side hustle. I was working in the restaurant industry a few nights per week, and that was up until, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago. So through a big chunk of training, and dude, yeah, like being full-time in real estate, like I know some people, obviously the luxury of being your own boss or in real estate, right? You can manipulate your schedule, but I know you guys treat it, and I treat it very much as like, hey, like we're coming into the office, like having as much structure as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, just because of the amount of time, like, I mean, dude, especially when I was, in the restaurant industry, there were some nights I was getting home 11:30 midnight and turning around, and because the next day was so jam packed with the day job, like with real estate, right, with appointments and all this stuff, like I was turning around and getting up at 3:30, 3:45 to get to the gym at 4 to fit in the workouts before the day starts, dude. And so,
wow,
that's tough.
Yeah, and thankfully I'm now out of that, right?
Yeah.
So being up that late is now by choice, right? And I'm kind of shooting
well,
myself in the foot.
I was going to ask you, what time have you been going to bed
dude,
now?
I'm early, dude.
Yeah.
Like 8:30 early.
Really?
Like, yeah. But regardless, like even now, there's only so, however early you can start. So even if I get started at 4 now and I have one of my longer days that's 4 hours, I mean, I'm not getting done until 8 by the time I get home, shower, and ready for the workday, 9:30, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it still trickles in,
Sure.
right? I try to minimize it and not have it trickle in the best I can. But dude, there's some days where, dude, I can't get up that early in the morning, and you know what? I'm gonna knock out some stuff in the morning, and midday I'm gonna go to the gym 11:30, 12, and I'm gonna hit the midday workout just because I can't get up early. Right?
What we do is that
exactly
you can do that if you absolutely have to.
100%.
I've been taking advantage of that a lot recently because I'm just doing strength training.
Yeah,
but like we were talking a little bit about earlier, like sometimes I don't want to I just rest and then go to the gym in the afternoon, and like I almost feel like my mental clarity is better that way. But,
well, dude, I've always, and it's kind of funny you say that too, because I mean, you think of like your 3 general times to work out, right? Like super early in the morning with all the crazy people, right?
all the
or
bodybuilders.
like, middle of the day, right? Or the after work crowd, right? Like after 5.
Middle of the day is honestly the best time to go to the gym.
And dude, I will say I've enjoyed the middle of the day, right? And like you said, like being able to take advantage of, the industry we are in, right? Because I've always hated the after 5, always hated it. It's just too crowded, too packed. And honestly, the early mornings have slowly started to become that way too. Yeah. But dude, the middle of the days are nice. I will not lie. Yeah.
Well, and even when Carson and I have gone together, it's tough that there's 2 of us, so it's like it's hard to time, because sometimes when you're by yourself, at least I'm doing like weight training, so you can time getting in like 2 sets and like that one's open, so you're like, okay, I'll bounce over there. But like when there's 2 of us, it's harder to do that. But no, when it's empty, because everyone else just minds their own business and it's empty and it's nice.
It's nice.
So are you doing any strength training? Like for your legs?
There's been a lot of not strength training. There's been a lot. So the primary training has been primarily cardio driven.
Sure.
Yeah. Swim, bike, run, and obviously within those things, speed work, endurance stuff, like all the other intricacies you can get into. In regards for strength training, my coach has implemented a little bit of it, but not much, honestly.
Just enough to avoid injury.
Yeah, which has been, I mean, and that's a big point. I mean, dude, like obviously having a lot of cardio-driven stuff has been great, but I do miss kind of, more predominant strength training. It's just fun, right?
Yeah.
We've also implemented a lot of like post-recovery, like foam rolling, like especially like for recovery stuff, band stretching, like a lot of that stuff we've implemented as well. So, not technically strength training, I would call it more like recovery or like prevention, right? Like band work or foam rolling, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, what is your nutrition look? Do you have specified nutrition? Are you supposed to be and you're not doing it?
No, dude.
Don't make him feel bad
sorry,
on a podcast.
Kate, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
No.
I'm just curious because that's something I joke with you. Yeah. I want you to coach me.
No. So my coach has been all at the way Sean's been working with us. He's been helping us on the nutrition side a little bit, but more specifically like the nutrition during your workout, right? Yes. Like when you're working out for 4 hours, you can't just do that fasted. And I learned that, like, dude, because I was being super cliche. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna work out fasted. I'm going to work out for 4 hours straight. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
no,
burning
dude.
so many calories and I'm
You
not going to
pass
have a
out.
single thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm just burning. But no, dude, like that was a huge shift. But in terms of like nutrition outside of that, I really like food, dude.
Yeah.
I
I feel you.
Isn't
And
food
I've-
the best?
and I've made, I'd be lying if I said, I've obviously been a little bit more intentional, right? And I was just having a conversation the other day too, like especially these next 4 to 5 weeks leading up, like I know I now need to be ultra intentional,
Yeah.
but I've been burning so many
what
calories,
I was
I
gonna
haven't
say.
really cared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a double-edged sword, right? Like I'm burning all this stuff and I can eat whatever I want, which is great, but because I haven't honed in the nutrition as much as I've honed in the training, the physique and and just the results and how the body's feeling are not as good as they could be,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of that double-edged sword.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did an 8-mile run on Rocky Hill. I did it fasted. Worst decision ever. It was terrible.
so bad,
I
dude.
told my friend that I was running with. He was like, "You didn't eat anything before?" I was like, "No." Like, what are you eating them? Like, I never eat this early. And then since then, I always have to eat. No matter what time I'm going to the gym, if I get up at 5, I have to eat before. Like, because it just feels so much better when you're working out. I don't know. You eat fast. You work out fasted all the time.
That's
so,
the
like,
problem I have is whenever I go, like I don't know what it is, because especially when we're going in the morning, I cannot eat in the morning. Like it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Like I try, and Reese even has like Rice Krispie treats, and he has
I eat
like
Rice Krispie treats
like
before the
just
gym.
stuff like that. That normally I'd be like, and look, I don't love Rice Krispie treats, but like I can eat them fine.
you
But
can
like,
eat, yeah.
man, I don't know what it is about the morning, but I just
You have
can't.
to force yourself, like, because I was the same way. I had to force myself to eat it because I was gagging, but
Yeah.
now it's no problem.
Like, and it didn't help when you had those whatever bars those were. They were bad,
Yeah.
and so it's like I was trying
Those
to
were
force
bad.
myself. I already am
The
not
Field
good
bar.
at. Like I'm
Have
already.
you had Field Bar? Have
I
you
mean,
used
don't
Field
shout
Bars
them
or
out
anything
if I
like
just
that?
said they were bad. Or
I've,
they're not
no,
gonna
a
I
lot of
really
my
like
stuff
them.
has been
Like, what have you been using? Yeah.
like liquid calories
Gels.
and gels,
Oh, I hate gels.
and they work, but they don't. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't. You're not
They
having
go
them
right,
for the
they
taste.
go right through you.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are bad. Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell that story anymore.
We said G on the first episode. We keep it G.
No, it's not inappropriate. It's like yeah.
No, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
It's bad, dude.
But-
Those things, I do not like those gels.
Yeah.
The supplement company I use, they're coming out with gels, and that's something that he always complained about gels. So I'm hoping that they like fixed
Are
it
better.
for whenever I start
Yeah.
training again. Because I love to run. Which one's your favorite? Is there one that you like enjoy genuinely,
No.
or you're just doing it just to do it?
No.
That's how. I
So
would-
there's the gels or the goo, right? Which I haven't found one. I
No,
haven't
I
found.
meant training. Like
Oh.
you're,
Oh.
See,
like-
I thought I
No,
thought Reese
sorry.
was like, oh, like running, biking, swimming. Which one's your favorite? And you said no, and I was like, that's how I would be if I was.
Yeah, no, like
I
Well,
don't-
to rewind to talk about that, I don't know if you've had them, but Cliff bars,
Yes.
they have chews.
okay.
Like energy chews, those have been, so it's not a gel, they're like energy chews.
Okay.
Those have been good. Those
I
have been
had-
like the only solid
good to
that I've
know.
enjoyed
That's good
like
to know.
I
having.
think I had like a Gatorade. Is it like the? You remember
I think
when they had
Gatorade
it?
has like something. Yeah, they're
Something-
very
just something
similar.
Like that.
They're
I've
very
had one of those
similar.
before.
Yeah.
I mean, I just ate it like candy. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
like-
No, they're no, they
But-
change. Yeah,
But
yeah,
look, it was-
exactly. No, okay, but switching up to answer your question, I mean, I've always I love being in the pool. That's probably my favorite. My least favorite's the bike for sure.
Really?
Surprisingly, I have enjoyed the run. Like when my body's been feeling good and I haven't like no soreness at all. When the body's been feeling the best it can, I've really enjoyed running too.
Okay.
But running's also felt the worst when my body's felt the worst, and I've
Yeah.
hated it the most. Right?
The part I didn't like about running training was the speed training
Yeah.
for running. I don't
Yeah.
like, but like when you're just going for like a paced run, like
Yeah.
you're just trying to keep a good,
Yeah.
steady, healthy heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the best runs
Yeah.
because your mind is so clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
love that stuff.
I have never, like, I haven't even tried to get into running. Every time I think of running, I think of like, oh, someone did something stupid at baseball practice and they're making us run foul poles as a punishment, and
Yeah.
I'm already tired and like Like my ankle was hurting like all of my baseball. Like, so that's what I think of as running is the worst part of every sport. So I've never
seen
tried
some
it,
things
but
that talk about how like distance training is the best for the human body because like our bodies weren't meant for fast paced just go, and they were like designed for like long. I don't know,
like biologically.
Listen. If you fact check me on this and it's completely wrong, I don't know. I probably saw it in like a TikTok one time. So Mitchell, but anyway, like they were saying how like the body, you're healthiest physically when you're doing so. Good job, Cade. You're probably in really good shape right now, huh?
I'm trying.
Attaboy. I like it. Yeah, Cade's gonna. I don't know how to speak. Cade's gonna be my coach whenever I start training for a triathlon.
I got you.
Because all my role models do triathlons.
And you know what? I'm
Cade's my
gonna
role model too,
cheer you on. While eating
like you did
all the
on
food
your
I
birthday
want.
When
I had to go out, stand in the heat.
On your birthday.
On my birthday. People just try to steal the spot.
I wasn't
on his 18th birthday.
On my 18th birthday.
Nonetheless.
Like, man, can't have anything.
Man, it was
can't
good,
have
though.
anything.
It was fun.
But
You should do it with me.
no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I like eating. I like sitting around.
Well, the nice thing about running, like Cade said, is you can literally eat as much as you want.
I can already eat as much as I want. You don't.
Valid point.
Yeah, that
valid
must
point.
be nice.
And I'm living that life well.
But so when you're doing the distance training and you're not eating like clean, does it like how does that affect your physique? I don't know.
So from March or so, I've pretty much stayed the exact same weight, even though
Really?
yeah,
You've not lost anything.
no, I've not. No, I even at a point I had gained some.
Because you probably have to eat as you're hungry.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
no,
You haven't lost anything.
No.
Interesting.
no.
That's weird. Good for
And
you.
however that chops up,
Yeah, I don't know.
who knows? But
Yeah. Yeah, I got skinny when I was running. I got skinny.
You did.
I was a small little guy.
I mean,
Well, not small. Anyway. All right, cool.
But
Well, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was gonna add like so, and we kind of got into it a little bit, but like, how do you fit like everything into your just life? Like, how do you? Did that come naturally, or was that like
You got family, you got a girlfriend, you got all this. How
you have
how
a
has that
global
worked?
operation? You
How
have
has
training.
that worked? Because like having anyway.
Like, how do you have
I'm so
time? How do you have time?
dude, it's a good question, but I will say this because we were talking in the podcast that I co-host a couple episodes ago.
Plug real quick.
Plug it.
Yeah, Pursuit of Property podcast.
What a
YouTube.
name! What a
dude.
name!
Yeah,
Dang,
YouTube,
dude.
all podcast platforms.
The pop.
But, dude, you've got to
Pop
think,
pod.
dude, like, and I was making this point, like, you have, and I'll use context a little bit. Like, we were talking about multiple sources of income, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to go out and get a side hustle, find multiple streams of income, because right now your traditional 9-to-5 isn't going to do it for you. Like, it's not going to, like, retirement's going to be, like, there's a ton of stuff that's just screwed with our system to where a normal 9-to-5, you're not going to be able to survive on a normal 9-to-5, right? You need to invest your money, you need to save your money, you need to put it in assets, right? So, and, I was using this example of, like, dude, some people may say, like, oh, I don't have the time to go pick up a restaurant job or go and pick up a side hustle or figure out a second stream of income. And I made the point, like, dude, there are single moms out there who have 3, 4, 5 jobs who are finding the time not only to work those 5 jobs, but take care of kids, take care of a family. Like, and so when, like, I try to break down that stigma of, like, time, like, yes, the time blocking is important and it helps being in an industry and in a job where we can have that flexibility, right? But it's just being ultra diligent with your time blocking and how your time is spent,
Yeah.
right? And just, it's good, at least for me, I like planning that a little bit early, on a Sunday when my coach loads the workouts, I know how those are going to fit into everything. Hey, how's my week looking?
Yeah.
And being able to be ultra diligent, on calendaring and scheduling and that sort of stuff. But dude, that's just been the biggest thing. Has it been an adjustment? Yeah, but having those skills of being able to time block and just, make sure you're spending time doing either income generating activities or, physical activity for your health, or, exactly like any other time that's important, spending time with your significant other, your family, your friends, right? It's all coming down to time blocking, right? And making sure your time's being spent the way it's supposed to, and not having time fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
So for you, it's not as much about like, oh, how do you find time? It's like, no, you just make time. Like you just
it's how do I make the time, and how do I block how do I block the
Arrange
time?
it.
Yeah, how do I arrange the time?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
that's the best way to phrase it, right? It's not how to find the time, it's how do I arrange the time to have it be the most efficient.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, are you planning on making Triathlete into an income stream?
Dude, put me on the spot. I have not, that's a
don't know.
great, absolutely I should be thinking how
Get
do I
sponsored,
do
bro.
that? Absolutely.
Get sponsored, dude.
Absolutely,
You
dude.
just got to get good.
Dude, Celsius, if you're watching this,
Dude,
dude,
tell me about
please,
it. I have had a
please.
Celsius. Okay, I don't have a Celsius now. I have Dutch Bros, but both 2 episodes I've had Celsius.
That's what I'm saying. I try to
Dude,
rep
I
the bottle
love
in our
Celsius, bro.
episodes
I
too.
always rep.
Dude,
They
Celsius, if you're watching,
they
sponsor
they
us,
sponsor
please.
Theo Vaughn, bro.
I know.
How did Theo Vaughn like?
Jake Paul too.
Okay, Jake.
Look,
But my point is, Theo
But-
Vaughn is just a comedian. He doesn't
He's-
do anything
yeah.
live fit. Like that's
Just a
their whole
big-
thing. Like I work out every day. Like you're a triathlete. Carson does stuff. He works.
I'm alive.
You're
I'm
alive.
here.
You live fit. I mean, you look good, right? You're
Thank
skinny. Anyway, how did Theo
Thank you.
Vaughn get one? I guess they're just big. I guess
He's just
he's just a good guy.
You know, Reese,
he's just a good guy.
I'm convinced that if Celsius knew how many Celsius cans were in that trash can right over there,
Yeah,
like they would already be our
trust
sponsor.
Celsius. I get a Celsius.
It's-
I get 1 to 2 every day.
Every day.
It
More
might
than-
actually be
more
a
than-
problem
more
how
than-
much
yeah,
Celsius Reese
I probably get
drinks.
one every day.
But
Anyway, but yeah, how is you don't have to answer this if you don't. Answer however you into it. But like, how has your like date? Because you have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
so like, how has that? Because you're going to bed early. Like, has that been an adjustment at all?
It's
or
been a
is it-
little bit of an adjust. I've been really lucky. She's been like extremely supportive.
Okay.
Like, which it like I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah.
Granted, I will say like a little bit of an adjustment, right? Because obviously we still like to go out,
Sure.
go on date nights, have fun, like, on a Saturday, be able to sleep in and then go and do stuff. But like for the past 7 months,
get the
I
floor,
haven't been
bro.
able to do that on a
Yeah.
Saturday,
Mhm.
which is, I've even been like a little bit sad about that, right?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
not, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
That's natural,
But
yeah.
no, it's been really great. It hasn't, she's been super supportive in every single way, which is, better than anything I could ask for.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome.
it's been good. Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Shout out.
Yeah.
What's her
Shout
name?
out Sierra.
Shout out Sierra.
Shout out.
Sierra.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what I'm talking about. Well, cool. Well, do you have anything else you want to add?
That
Or-
was everything that's on my little laptop here.
damn, dude. You're
All
the
things.
laptop guy.
You're the checklist
Yeah.
guy,
You
dude.
kept us on track.
I don't think I did anything today. After the game, it was you
Well,
guys.
the game was really good.
Well, I
the game
appreciate that.
Got the juices flowing
It
today.
did. The
I
juices
appreciate
were
that.
flowing.
I worked real hard.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what I'm talking about. Well, Cade, thanks for being on the podcast
Dude,
today.
thank
you boys
Can
for
you give
having
us
me.
a quick plug for all your
All
stuff
the
real quick
things.
one more
Yeah,
time?
social media, Instagram at Cade Berrett, CadeBerrett. Pursuit of Property Podcast,
Yes.
also on Instagram.
The pop pod.
All podcast podcast things, Spotify, Apple, and then also on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's it,
Did you hear Carson's abbreviation for you?
The pop pod.
dude. We call
Have you got
our
it?
abbreviations POP.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
so we
so
we
sick.
refer to it as POP. Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
And what does it a specific day that you guys come out? Or
So we have new episodes every Thursday morning that are
Cool.
published at 11 a.m.
Cool.
So every Thursday we've got new episodes, new content coming out.
awesome.
Heck yeah.
Well, check them out. Make
Mhm.
sure to follow Real Stuff Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me on Instagram at Resapien. All my links are in my link tree. You can check out. You can even add me on Be Real on there.
Man.
Carson, do you want to plug something?
I mean, I guess follow my Instagram.
Yeah.
At Carson _ Sapien.
Ooh,
Yeah.
saucy.
I did
All
have
right,
two.
guys.
Someone already took one.
Yes.
Cool.
But-
Well, thanks guys for listening.
Yes.
This has been the Real Stuff Podcast.
That's Reese.
This is Carson.
And that's Cade.
And that's Cade.
This
See you
is
guys
Cade.
next time.
Bye.
Dude.